Let me say something that might make you uncomfortable. Your comfort zone is not protecting you, it is shrinking you. Every single day you stay in it, it gets smaller. The walls close in just a little more, and you don't even notice because it feels safe, it feels familiar, it feels like home. But here's the truth nobody says out loud. Safe is slowly killing your future. Stay with me, because what I'm about to share is going to change how you see comfort forever. And once you see it, you will not be able to unsee it. In 1908, two Harvard psychologists, Robert Yerkes and John Dodson, ran an experiment that changed how we understand human performance forever. They discovered that people in a state of comfort could maintain a steady performance level, but those who experienced just the right amount of anxiety, just outside their comfort zone, made greater gains and performed significantly better. They called it optimal anxiety, the sweet spot, just beyond what feels safe, where real growth happens. Think about what that means for your life right now. Your comfort zone fulfills your need for certainty, one of the most powerful human needs. When you're in it, you know what to expect, you know how to react, you feel in control. And that feeling is exactly what is keeping you stuck. Because your brain was not designed to push you toward growth, it was designed to keep you alive, to protect you, to minimize risk. And in 2026, that ancient survival mechanism is working against you every day. Here is what actually happens when you stay in your comfort zone too long. It makes you complacent. If you don't perform activities that challenge you, you miss out on growth opportunities entirely. But it's more than that. Within the comfort zone, there isn't much incentive to reach new heights of performance. Progress plateaus, and the longer you stay, the more normal the plateau feels. You stop noticing you've stopped growing. That is the real danger. Not that life feels bad, but that it starts to feel fine, okay, manageable, and fine becomes the new ceiling. You had dreams once, big ones, and somewhere along the way, not because you failed, not because something went wrong, but simply because you got comfortable, those dreams quietly moved further away, and you let them, because staying felt easier than reaching. Now, here is the part that most people get completely wrong about comfort zones, and I want you to really hear this. Leaving your comfort zone does not mean doing something terrifying. It does not mean quitting your job tomorrow or moving to a new country or making some dramatic life change. That is not what growth looks like. Your brain naturally focuses on the risks of change while completely ignoring the risks of staying put. So when you think about leaving your comfort zone, your brain shows you the worst-case scenario of moving, but it never shows you the worst-case scenario of staying. So let me ask you the question your brain has been avoiding. What will your life look like in 5 years if nothing changes? Same routine, same income, same frustrations, same dreams still waiting. That is the real risk. Not the discomfort of growth, the comfort of stagnation. There are actually 3 zones. Most people only know about one. The first is the comfort zone, familiar, safe, known, where everything feels manageable. The second is the learning zone, also called the stretch zone. This is just beyond what feels comfortable. It is where anxiety is present but manageable, where new neural pathways form, where newly mastered behaviors become comfortable and the comfort zone itself expands. This is the zone where life changes. And the third is the panic zone. Too far, too fast, where anxiety overwhelms and you retreat. This is why massive overnight changes rarely work. Your brain panics and pulls you back. The goal is not to live in the panic zone. The goal is to spend a little time every day in the learning zone, just outside of what feels safe, just uncomfortable enough to grow. I want to stop here for a second because I want to know something about you. In the comments right now, tell me one thing you have been avoiding because it feels uncomfortable. Just one thing. It does not have to be big. The job application, the difficult conversation, the creative project you keep putting off, the gym, the course, the phone call. Whatever it is, write it below, because naming it is the first step out of it. Small disruptions train your brain that change is survivable, even beneficial. You do not need massive overhauls. You need one small, uncomfortable thing today. Take a different route, speak up in the meeting, message the person you've been avoiding, start the thing you've been thinking about for months. As you push your personal boundaries, you train your brain to adapt to new situations and create new neural pathways that make you a better problem solver, decision maker, and leader. Every small step expands your comfort zone permanently. What scared you last month becomes normal this month, and what is normal this month becomes the foundation for next month's growth. That's how it works, not in dramatic leaps, in quiet, consistent, daily inches forward. Let me make this real for a second, because we talk about comfort zones in abstract terms, growth, potential, purpose, but I want to talk about what staying comfortable actually costs you, in real life, in real numbers. Financially, the person who never asks for the raise stays on the same salary for years. The person who never starts the business keeps trading time for money forever. The person who never learns the skill stays replaceable. That is not a metaphor. That is a bank account. That is a retirement fund. That is the holiday you never took and the life you kept saying you would build someday. In relationships, the person who never has the difficult conversation watches resentment quietly build. The person who never opens up stays lonely inside a relationship. The person who never sets a boundary keeps losing themselves. In health, the person who never starts stays exactly where they are, and exactly where they are gets harder to come back from every single year. Comfort is not free. It has a price, and that price is paid slowly, in the life you did not build, the person you did not become, the moments you did not have. The question is not whether you can afford to leave your comfort zone. The question is whether you can afford to stay. History is full of people who had every reason to stay comfortable and chose not to. Oprah Winfrey was fired from her first television job, told she was unfit for TV. She could have stayed in the smaller, safer role. She did not. J.K. Rowling wrote Harry Potter as a single mother on welfare. Every logical voice around her said, "Stay practical, stay safe." She did not. Howard Schultz grew up in poverty. He saw Starbucks as a small local coffee chain and imagined something the owners could not see. He left the comfort of a stable job to build something people told him was a bad idea. These are not stories about talent. They are not stories about luck. They are stories about people who felt the fear and stepped forward anyway. That step, that is available to you too. Here's what nobody tells you about leaving your comfort zone consistently. It does not just change what you do, it changes who you are. Every time you do something uncomfortable and survive it, your brain updates its picture of you. you become someone who does hard things, someone who follows through, someone who shows up even when it is scary. And that identity, that is everything. Those who are able to easily leave their comfort zones have emotional mastery. They acknowledge that their emotions are there to guide them. They feel their feelings fully and ask, what is this emotion really telling me? The anxiety you feel before something new, that is not a stop sign. That is a signal. It means you are at the edge of your growth zone. It means this matters. It means you are about to become someone new. Lean into it, not away from it. So here is something concrete I want to give you. A 7-day comfort zone challenge. One small, uncomfortable thing per day. That is it. Day 1, have a conversation you have been avoiding. Day 2, do something alone that you would normally skip. Day 3, share something you created with someone whose opinion matters to you. Day 4, say no to something that drains you. Day 5, reach out to someone you have been meaning to contact for months. Day 6, start something you have been putting off. Not finish it, just start. Day 7, do something that genuinely scares you. Something small but real. 7 days. 7 small steps outside of what feels safe. And at the end of those 7 days, you will not be the same person who started. Not because of what you did, because of what you proved to yourself. That you can, that you do, that you are someone who does hard things. I want to speak to some of you directly now, because I know some of you are listening to this and thinking, I have tried, I have pushed myself before, and I ended up back in the same place. And that feeling is real. But here is what I want you to understand. Going back to your comfort zone after growth is not failure. Returning to your comfort zone can help you reinvigorate and psychologically recuperate before returning to more anxiety-inducing situations. Rest is part of the process. The problem is not returning to comfort. The problem is staying there. Winners rest in their comfort zone. They do not retire there. And every time you go back out, even if it takes longer than you planned, you go a little further than before. That is not failure. That is growth. So here is what I want you to do after this video. Just one thing. Identify one thing. One small, specific thing that sits just outside your comfort zone. Not terrifying, just uncomfortable. And do it today. Not tomorrow, not when you feel ready. Because here's the secret, you will never feel ready. Readiness is a feeling that comes after you begin, not before. Growth is one of the most essential human needs. If you are not growing, you are dying. Your comfort zone is not your enemy, but your decision to never leave it, that is. The life you want is not inside what feels safe. It never was. It is one uncomfortable step away. And that step, that one quiet, brave, imperfect step is available to you. Right now. Today. If this resonated, watch this next. Because stepping out of your comfort zone means nothing if the environment around you keeps pulling you back in. We went deep on exactly that, why your environment might be the most powerful invisible force shaping your life right now. It is on your screen. I will see you there.